Hello and welcome back to another out-of-spec detailing video here from Clear Detailing in Northern Colorado. Today I've come up with an interesting little experiment that I never really expected to make, but I read a lot of your guys' comments, and when it comes to pre-washing, you'll know that Polsihing Touchless is one of my favorites if you've been following this channel for a while. And pretty much every time I post a video with either this, Labocosmetica Primus 2.0, or other pre-washes out there, you guys are telling me you don't need that product, don't spend the money on it, just use something like Chemi Green Star, a universal all-purpose cleaner. And then also, a lot of you say, just use something like Rinseless Wash. Screw the pressure washer, screw the foam cannons, I'm just using Rinseless Wash. So today we're gonna take these three on a very dirty Tesla Model 3 that just went through a snowstorm here and see which one is better for cleaning up your vehicle before you ever even touch it. Welcome back to the channel, let's jump into it. So before we jump into the video here, let's understand a little bit about what pre-washes are, when and why you would want to use them, and kind of the overall safety behind them. That's a big topic and a big question I know a lot of you have. So something like Polsihing Touchless over here is an alkaline-based pre-wash. Now traditionally, you're going to use this either two different ways. You can use this in a foam cannon, you can grab an IK sprayer, but you're going to take it on a dry, cool to the touch vehicle, foam it on the car, spray it on the car, let it dwell, rinse it with the pressure washer, then you'll refoam it with a pH neutral shampoo and actually start your contact wash. The whole purpose and whole concept behind a product like this is it's meant to go in there, break down the dirt, the road grime, the road film, whatever all that nastiness is on your car, so that before you go and touch it with a wash mitt or your wash media, you are not just scrubbing in dirt into your paint. Now we will be doing a demonstration on this vehicle after it's been through the snowstorm of just rinsing a panel versus spraying Polsihing Touchless on half of the panel and rinsing it off to show you the cleanability of this. It's truly impressive stuff, and I think it's an area that a lot of people skip over. Now pre-washes, like I said, should not be used every single time you wash your car. This should be something you use when your car actually needs it, when it's been through a snowstorm like this, when it's been through a rainstorm and you're getting all of that oil, dirt, grime, all of that nastiness when you're driving through the rain. That's when you would want to use a pre-wash. If it's just generally dusty, 9 times out of 10, you can foam it down with a pH neutral shampoo, rinse it down, then go into refoam and starting your contact wash. I've done a few other videos talking about different pre-washes out there. Polsihing Touchless seems to be one of my favorites, very dilutable, works very well, use very, very little product, especially in an IK sprayer. But if you like to use it in a foam cannon, I'd probably recommend using something like Labocosmetica Primus 2.0, as you use a heck of a lot less product than you will something like Polsihing Touchless. We'll get into the dilution ratios as you go, but this has been an absolute favorite. Now I've also heard, like I said from reading the comments, a lot of you just like using something like Chemi Green Star over here. This is an all-purpose cleaner. They call it a universal cleaner. This is also an alkaline-based cleaner coming in at a pH of 12.5. So you're going to dilute this down same exact way you would use Polsihing Touchless over here. You can either use it in a foam cannon or you can actually use it in an IK sprayer. We're going to be doing it in IKs today, so it's a little bit easier to keep in kind of sectionals, if you will. I'll be interested to see how well this cleans versus Polsihing Touchless, my go-to favorite, because this is quite a bit cheaper to use. Now the other thing is you also do use quite a bit more of this product based on dilution ratios. We'll talk about all of that and more. Now lastly, coming over here to Rinseless Wash, and this is coming in just because of the vast wide array of comments I get talking about rinseless washes. Now recently, I guess not so recently, a couple months ago, I posted a video on my thoughts and feelings as a professional detailer using rinseless washes. Now I personally think rinseless washes are great for a very small subset of people. That would be people that don't have access to running water, you're in a drought restricted area, or maybe you live in a metro environment or a apartment complex and you physically don't have access to running water. This is a whole hell of a lot safer than taking your car through a brush car wash, or a lot better than not even washing your car at all. The thing that I think has been interesting with this product, it's gotten kind of this cult following, if you will, and I think we are definitely pushing the boundaries, pushing the limits, and pushing the safety of what these products can actually do. And we have come up with this new method called the hybrid method, which is technically what we'll be using today. Now, the traditional way you would use a rinseless wash is you would use this 256:1. You would basically put it in a 5-gallon bucket, fill it up with 4 gallons of water, 2 ounces of solution here. So it's very economical, very affordable to use, and you're using very little product. Then you would fill up something like an IK sprayer. You would spray down the entire car. You grab your sponge, wash media with that single bucket, boom, swipe it over the vehicle, dunk it back in the water, go to the next panel, and then you dry it. It's a pretty straightforward, simple process. What I can't understand is why people have started replacing this with actually just washing your car the proper way. And what I mean by that is using this hybrid method is basically using this as a pre-wash, then breaking out your pressure washer, rinsing it down, respraying it with another solution of rinseless wash, and then still continuing to do your wash media in a single bucket. I am a huge believer of the foam, rinse, foam, then do your contact wash using either a 2-bucket method with a couple of wash mitts, having a clean bucket with soap, and having just a pure clear water rinse. But I also very much like using just a single 1-bucket method when we're using 10 different wash mitts, and you do one side on, let's say, half the hood, you flip it over, do the other half, that wash mitt is done. I think that's the safest way to go. I think a lot of people should stop using rinseless wash like it is the saving grace. Can guarantee you this stuff is seriously going to mar up your paint. But again, if you don't have the ability to wash, that's where this is going to come in. So for dilution ratios, so we're going to be using this at 256:1. It's going to be sprayed on exactly like this. Then we're going to let it dwell, and then we're going to rinse it off and see which one actually cleans better. Coach Chemi Green Star over here has a wide variety of different dilution ratios you can actually use this product at. They say for exterior vehicles, you can use this 1:5 up to 1:20, being that this is going up against kind of a sledgehammer here. We're going to use this at a 1:5 dilution ratio. You should not be using this any less than 1:3, which is extremely strong. Most people use this as a 1:10, but I knew if I used it at a 1:10 and it didn't perform quite as well, somebody would have said you should use it at a 1:5. So we're going to use it at 1:5. Over here with Polsihing Touchless, it's a little bit more complicated if you're using this in a foam cannon. They are wanting you to get a panel impact ratio of 2%. Now there's a whole calculation of how you can do that. If you want it to be easy, streamlined, just use it in an IK sprayer. 2% of the solution mixed with the other 98% water. You've got your pre-mixture there. So first off, what we're going to do, we are going to spray Polsihing Touchless on one side of a door and the other side with absolutely nothing. We're going to rinse it off after it's sat for a little bit so you can see what a pre-wash actually does. Then on the back of the car where it's really filthy, really nasty, we're going to take our 3 solutions here at their desired dilution ratios and see which one actually cleans the best. So we're going to start off here with our Polsihing Touchless. Again, I'm going to show you a little demo of this product, both on the front end, down the side of the doors. Then on the rear end, we'll test all of these 3 next to each other. So to achieve our 2% PIR here, we're going to make 1,000 milliliters of our solution. So that gives us 980 milliliters of water and only 20 milliliters of Polsihing Touchless here. That's going to give us exactly 2%. Now understand when you use this in a foam cannon, because you have water flowing through that, you're going to be blowing through a whole hell of a lot more solution. So this is a way more economical way to use this. And again, I really prefer to use Primus 2.0 in a foam cannon over Polsihing Touchless. So we're going to mix this into here. So we're going to make sure we get all of it since it's such a small amount. We'll spray it in our IK here, and you guys are going to see some pretty awesome results. Starting off here with a not so dirty area on the front end of this Model 3, but we're going to spray the driver's side here with our Polsihing Touchless. We're going to let it sit. Typically you leave this on between 3 to 5 minutes. You do not want to let this stuff dry, so all we'll do, come in here, we'll spray this down. Going to get a good healthy application, and that's going to sit in there and just break down all of that dirt and grime. So I'm going to spray down the door now. I'll bring you over there. Then we'll come back, rinse this, and rinse the door. I'm going to leave this untouched. I'm going to spray Polsihing Touchless over here. So we're going to start at the top of the door, make a nice solid there. Let's go in this really nasty, dirty spot here as well. Okay, and we'll let that sit. do its thing, and we'll come back and pressure wash it off. It's always awesome to see here. I mean, you can already see quite a big difference in the dirt and grime there. And then you look at the floor and you can see what that is pulling off. This is also interesting if you're curious of how something like a pre-wash like this does differently between a foam cannon, a IK sprayer, or an IK foamer. I'll leave a video linked in the description. Basically, I noticed pretty much no differences whatsoever. Pretty darn impressive what it can do. And you can see here on the front end, you can clearly see what an absolute difference that is. Now, this car is coated. It's been coated for 3+ years. So this has Geon Infinite Base Type 1, a professional grade coating on it. This car has been maintained. I will say not perfectly maintained. This has not been hand washed as often as I would actually like, but it's been washed pretty decently. So let's let this sit on here. We'll get the pressure washer set up back here, and we'll get to rinsing. So, and I think quite clearly here, you can see there is quite a big difference in the cleaning power of that. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. So you can see the dirt and grime there. As I pop over here, way less. So which now would you rather touch with a wash solution or your wash media? Now that over there, you can see where I stop rinsing. It does still do pretty darn decent, but definitely a pretty darn big difference there. We'll see even more on the side doors. So one thing you'll notice here, you can clearly see exactly where the pre-wash was. I'll bring you in a little bit closer. You can also notice that that coating is sheeting quite a bit. That is pretty normal. We get this wake down the side of our cars here. You can see it go all the way down the Model 3, kick back up here, and then the back end. This just means we have contamination in here. So typically, after we've done this step, we'll hand wash it. Most of the time that's going to come back. If it needs a little bit more decontamination, I've got other videos on how to do that, but I still think this is such an interesting test. And again, this is why I'm a huge believer in pre-washes. No, this is not perfect, but it's a whole hell of a lot cleaner than that, especially the farther you get down the side of the car. It makes a massive difference. Now again, we made a massive difference just rinsing it there, but this is a huge difference. So now let's head to the back here and get to our really dirty areas where this thing is just covered in dirt and grime. Before we get to the back, we need to mix up our dilutions of Green Star as well as Optimum No Rinse. So we've already got Built Hammer Touchless done. Green Star, again, we're using 5:1 or 1:5, and that means we are using 167 milliliters of product per 833 milliliters worth of product over here. So we'll fill this up. That'll give us a total of 1,000. That should be good. So in 1,000 milliliters, you should only be using 4 milliliters of rinseless wash solution. How that is even possible that works like that, I don't know. Again, I'm not a big rinseless wash guy. So I have measured out 10 milliliters, filled this up with 1,000 milliliters of water. So we're using this at a stronger dilution ratio, but yeah, it's absolutely zero product going in there. So we'll mix all these up. We'll head to the back of the car and we'll get to spraying and rinsing. All right, guys, so these are all mixed up now, and we're gonna split this into 3 sections. So I'm gonna try and use just a little bit left of this tail light here for rinseless wash. In the middle, we're going to use our Coach Chemi Green Star. On the farthest end, we're going to use our Built Hammer Touchless there. So we're just gonna spray this down. I've got this one on Super Blast here. You can see it's already doing some cleaning power there. I'll just go all the way down the sides here as well. And we'll get these nice and saturated. I'm not here to just pour a little solution on. I really want to see the cleaning power of these. And yeah, this will be pretty interesting. Some pretty dirty, nasty car here. So that is done. We'll come in with our Coach Chemi Green Star. Really breaking that dirt down already. I have high hopes for Green Star here, to be totally honest with you guys. And then lastly, Built Hammer Touchless. You can see this is a lot foamier, which is pretty interesting here. Go all the way down the side. Okay, so this whole side I've sprayed down here with the rinseless wash, and you can see, yeah, it's definitely pulling a lot of dirt and grime off. Over here, we have Coach Chemi Green Star, which to the naked eye, just spraying it on there, looks definitely a little bit better than over here. I'm curious to see how it does when it rinses. And then lastly, over here, we've got the Built Hammer Touchless. And yeah, the side's looking pretty darn good. I don't think it really matters which one looks the best at this point. It's after we rinse it. But again, pretty interesting. You can see the suds there from Built Hammer. In the middle, you can see the Green Star. And then over here, definitely not soapy. Totally different type of solution here, but actually still doing a little bit better than I thought here. We'll see how it rinses away. I think we're now ready to rinse. I have turned the fan sideways because I want to try and push all of this down and not get solution into the other ones. There's no perfect way to do this, but we'll do the best we can. So we'll start here with rinseless wash. Honestly, looking pretty darn clean. Let me pull you off the tripod here. Looking pretty good. You can see a big difference there. You can also still see quite a bit of dirt and grime over here. Definitely not as good as we saw on the side with Built Hammer Touchless, but I would say that's actually pretty respectable. It did better than I thought it did, or would do, I guess. And now we'll move on to Coach Chemi Green Star. So definitely can tell you that looks a whole heck of a lot cleaner there. Let me pop you off. You can see down here where it was really bad, looking good. And then you come over here to the rinseless wash. Again, still showing that dirt and grime. I didn't really rinse that well up there. We'll do a final rinse after we do touchless here. But man, that is pretty darn impressive. Green Star doing a pretty nice job. Lastly over here, going to Built Hammer Touchless. And again, looking pretty darn good there. You can see how much cleaner this side looks than rinseless wash. All down the side, did a pretty quick rinse there. So let me set you back up here, guys, and I'm gonna do a very thorough rinse all the way throughout. All right, so we got a good thorough rinse all the way through here. And again, rinse this pretty hard over here, and you can still see quite a bit of dirt and grime remains with rinseless wash. Now do keep in mind here, instead of 256:1, we're even stronger actually than 128:1. So double the dilution strength here, and you can clearly see leaving quite a bit in dirt and grime. Now over here, it's actually looking pretty good, even where the rinseless would be. Down here on the bumper, you can still see a little bit. Then you move over here to Coach Chemi Green Star, and I would say this looks substantially better. This is way, way, way cleaner. So Green Star looking pretty good, but also remember, 10 milliliters of solution versus 167 milliliters of solution. That's a very big difference. Then we come over here to Built Hammer Touchless, and it's looking pretty good. So only there we're again using 20 milliliters of solution. So I think you guys can clearly see what my preferred is on these. I think you can probably take my judgment and say Built Hamber Touchless, 20 milliliters of solution to get that cleaning power. Definitely better than this. This is not bad, but again, they say 256 to 1 on that. I use 2% PIR and the strongest for Koch Chemie Green Star. But I hope this, guys, helped you out and show you what a pre-wash does, how it can help you, and kind of mystify some of the, I don't know, feelings throughout the industry that rinseless wash is just better. And again, Koch Chemie Green Star, I think we got great results, but using it 5 to 1 seems, yeah, like a lot of solution. Even 10 to 1 seems like a whole heck of a lot more solution than something like Built Hamber Touchless. You can buy this in a 5-liter solution for, I believe, right around $60 to $70, which is really not that bad. I'd be curious to price it out. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I can tell you, you're definitely going to use a lot more Green Star than Built Hamber Touchless. So that for me is a big, big win for Built Hamber Touchless. Now I'm going to continue washing the car here, but we'll end this one off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Interesting little experiment. We'll see you in the next one soon. Bye-bye.